plowing through the ways, the many plays, these societal stampedes, the chronological growing tree, tell tales of the times of the many turmoil, while we stand aside or simply hitch a ride. On the capitalistic brain tree, it had never meant any good to me. Now I sit as a witness in the ingrown, like cells more prone, telling of the chains that breaks, the times that cries, not for the cause of our sakes. Hello everyone, welcome back to Poetry Journal Podcast. I am your host, Alex Murdoch. Hope everyone's doing well today. And pardon the delay with the update for this week's episode. Just been somewhat of a hectic week, but I always plan to deliver and just try and give my take on things. So like I said, I never take this for granted. I always appreciate my viewers and people that listen to what I have to say. What you just heard, of course, if you pay attention to this podcast for a while, is just a little piece of something I cooked up with on a piece of sheet. But not all, some but not all. But I do have some more to add to that. So let me go over it again, and then we just get into some more skullduggery, so to speak. Here we go. Plowing through the ways, the many plays, the societal stampedes, the chronological growing tree, tell tales of the times of the many turmoil, while we stand aside or simply hitch a ride. On the capitalistic brain tree, it had never meant any good to me. Now I sit as a witness, the ingrown, like the cells more prone, telling of the chains that breaks, the times that cries, for not for the cause of our sakes, it was all for naught that we can relate. The plate with brittle take, earth in a primitive state, it had mean no good to me. Blinded by the tranquilities, they act like a blindfold. If only I could gain consistency, less flashing lights, distracting my plight like epilepsy, grown to be prone like chemistry. As I no longer seek to be grown, taking my life to a place of elevation, sunshine dismay, my thoughts elevate with the rays. They spray the cobwebs away, thus I see clearly the monster that awaits since the later date. And that's all there is for today, folks. With this piece, somewhat complex, but at the same time, I was just coming from a place of this actually piece. It's just coming from a place of me, just like, in layman terms, sick world in a sense. Just understanding where we are in society and everything that's going on, and of course, it's not all bad, it's not all good, but we do see a lot of crazy things these days, and this is where I'm coming from with it. One of the inspiring things I would say that had me in a place where it's just like, what was crazy? It's almost like it's sad to say, but there is a sense of almost a sense of tainting, where where children are concerned, and there's almost like an overexposure towards them. That's one of the things that's really kind of had me thinking, how could anyone even entertain such a thought? Or you have to be sick in a way to kind of feel a certain way, or even entertain the idea of kind of corrupting a child's innocence. And this was specifically to, I'm sure everybody's kind of remembered or have heard, if you're not living in a cave right now, you've heard about the whole situation with the Dalai Lama and the child, and asking the child to almost exchange, I don't even want to say it, but it's just like mouth to mouth with the child kind of thing. And that kind of, I'm sure everybody could relate to that, when he's kind of like, that's sick. And I guess maybe that was one of the biggest inspiration behind something that I decided to create, which is inspired by me just thinking at that point, just listening. I didn't really want to see it at that point, but I did read about it, and like just thinking to myself, oh man, what a sick world we live in for something like that to even be entertained, in a sense. So yeah, it's just crazy, but that's just that, but there's other things going on. One of the other things that I really appreciate is that's ongoing is I'm not sure if you're in the US, I'm sure you're familiar with the Starr Report, and if you're in the UK or in Europe, you might also be similar. You might also be familiar with the Starr Report, and this Starr Report is a platform owned by Star Terrain, which is an entity in himself. So I don't really need to say much. Just look him up, and you see how much he's got a lot of great work out there, and well respected for paving a way, in a sense, by himself. And yes, so if I'm just I've been kind of he's been promoting, or I'm a sponsor. He's been sponsoring my work for a while, just for a short while, and just kind of trying my best to share my information and what I have, my products and stuff like that I have out there to the world, and hopefully people can also appreciate everything that I'm trying to bring, not only to this platform, but also to my personal platform, but also to different places that I put my content out, whether it's in a book, on Amazon, or it's on YouTube. And that's another thing, I've started putting videos on YouTube, so recently. So also pay attention to that as well, because I also, as you know, I do open mics, and so I do put clips of what I'm doing on the stage on there. So it's fun. It's fun to it's fun for me. So I hope we can kind of share in that. Just kind of enjoying what I'm expressing on stage and stuff like that. But things are developing. In fact, before I even started this episode, just kind of looking to express to the people, I was just here sitting down, and I just kind of had this inkling to just almost like an itch to just kind of go through some of my my pieces, and just because I really do genuinely enjoy just words and just creating, and so just reading back some of the things that I've performed, or I am going to perform. Sometimes I like to do that, where I just go through my work and I just try to find things that I think people would really enjoy to listen to, enjoy hearing, and so I would really it's an art form, so you have to practice, and so sometimes I would just sit down and just practice what I do. And so this is where I went with just before this piece, and I was just thinking there to myself, and I was just enjoying. Well, first of all, it's I always see growth when I read my own work and stuff like that, and it's humbling, So I appreciate that part of it, if nothing else. And then there's the other part where I'm just thinking now, and it's almost like, oh man, it's fun for me, whether I'm by myself or whether I'm entertaining a crowd or simply just one person, and with that, I guess it just kind of had me thinking. It just had me thinking about just the history of where I'm coming from. And I thought maybe that's something relevant to share in terms of like, I guess the origin of poetry, like for myself, and just like the ins and outs of where did it really kind of hit me to kind of like really express myself. And I think, I'm not sure if I said this, but I've been writing poetry for a long time now. I'm not sure if I've ever said this also, but I'm 31 years old, so I'm going to be 32 in August, and so it's kind of like, it just kind of had me thinking like, man, that's close to 2 decades of like, just writing. Because I believe it was around 13 years old that, I started writing. And it was just from a place where I've always been a thinker, where, and my thing was never to really speak, so I was always in my own head, just thinking about things, as introverts do. I mean, to an extent, I would still consider myself more an introvert than anything, but it's almost like I've kind of grown, matured to be an ambivert, in a sense, type of person, where I can kind of I'm almost like a social chameleon in a sense. But at that point in my life, I was very introverted. Literally haven't started the journey of, like, say, self-discovery and growing, and that a lot of the things that I'm about right now and continue to be about in a quest type of way. And yeah, so that was one of the biggest things. I was never really an expressive type to really express personal, especially emotions, in a sense. So I guess if you've ever read my poetry, I'm big on logic, but I'm also, poetry, it's in a way to kind of express emotions as well. So, but I guess it's intertwined, because I'm big at this stage of my life. I'm big on manhood. I'm big on being about who I am, a man, and always continually expressing new things I've learned about myself, and consistently speaking about things I know about myself, and always having it show, in a sense, in my DNA of expression, if you get what I mean. And so I guess this was where I came to when I was thinking about the origins of that's where it started anyway. And then but to get to the point, it's almost like it was more understanding myself, a way of almost like it was like an emotional archive, and through that it's almost like emotionally I kind of gained balance as a man through expression of that. And as I grew and I knew more about myself and the world, I believe it, from my recollection at least, it's almost like it kind of gave me a more understanding of my place in the world, or at least the place around me. And so I guess I say that to say that, writing, poetry, creativity has given me so much. And so I suppose in a sense my thing is like, it's only right that I give back in a way, so that's where I'm coming from with it. And so over time now, when it comes to whether it's a genre of fiction, or if it's like my books, poetry journals, or specifically poetry journal Growing Pains, out there right now, check it out. It's all somewhat a part of me in a sense. And it's humbling to think how just being a creator has taken me. And it's been such a fun journey, and yeah, just humbling. So yeah, man, I'm just in it and just enjoying it, and I hope, you know, to kind of congregate more people and bring them on my journey to kind of like, you know, to share the experience and the fun times, not so good times, and hopefully, you know, the fun never stops. So that's a little bit about me, myself, and where I'm coming from with the whole thing. So yeah, I've pretty much been, you know, expressing and creating pieces for a long time. I guess maybe I do consider myself now, you know, I'm all about growth, so it will never be a thing where like I would ever feel like I've perfected, but I think I've grasped, I've grown enough to master my form of expression and my DNA to creativity, in a sense, you know, and that alone, I think there's a privilege to that, and you know, you feel grateful, and yeah, I just feel to share it with the world, and hopefully people can learn from it and be inspired the way I was inspired on my journey. So yeah, man, thanks to everyone for showing support, and like I said, tune in to the Star Report. I think the episode that came out, was it Sunday? If you go to like hour 27 minutes into it, then you hear my I called into the show, and we just had a quick discussion about things and what I'm writing, what I've been creating and stuff like that. So, you know, but I'll keep everyone posted, and you know, just like I said, just being about the life as I always try to be, and just growing. And I, fun enough, still speaking of performing, I actually did one performance on Thursday, which was fun. It was different venue, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. So always looking to, you know, express and share what I do, what I create with other people. So yeah, just stay tuned and keep looking out for more, because you know it's always coming. But for now, just stay updated, and hopefully you can take this journey with me. But like I said, thanks to everyone for tuning in and supporting the machine. Appreciate everyone. Alex out. Till next time, take care.